Hey guys, Jake Jones here to talk about the movie Hereditary. You know I don't do reviews very often anymore, but this one is more of a public service announcement. Holy dick, this movie was bad. I know I'm gonna get burned at the stake for this opinion because the movie had a 95 or something on the fucking Black Tomato. I'm surprised people still give a shit. It has a D on Cinema Score, so I guess I'm more aligned with the plebeians. These fake-ass critics nowadays don't need much more than a finger in their ass and a bonus from Disney to give a thumbs up. But if this kind of shit is what passes for scary, then that's scarier than this movie, I can tell you that fucking much. This really is more of an extended teaser trailer for a movie. It's like a fucking lawnmower that won't start for 2 hours, and if you find that scary, oh lord, you're going to be petrified at Hereditary. Let's start with the positives. The performances, or at least one of them, is pretty impressive. Toni Collette. Okay, I gotta say her name because she deserves the acclaim. There is no denying her performance. She is a big, colorful pinwheel. She puts every kind of emotion into this role. She is obviously so starved for a breakthrough that she will feast on these cut-off sandwich crusts and black banana peels in the Subway dumpster like it's fucking filet mignon and au gratin. And her job is making miniature dollhouse versions of her own life, which happens to be shit that just happened a scene previous in the movie. Now, I'm not sure if she makes a career out of this or it's just a hobby. The movie never really specifies, nor does it ever hint at what this is supposed to symbolize. And you'll see a lot of this vague bullshit spread throughout the movie, just these unfinished metaphors. Another one of these metaphors is beheading. There's so much beheading in this movie that it could be an ISIS recruitment video, except for the fact that it's nowhere near as scary as that. The mother character, who is the best by far, also goes to group counseling to ease her grief over the loss of her mother, and this is how the movie starts. Once again, the grandmother, another bullshit metaphor that the film only brings up when it's convenient. The mother is also prone to sleepwalking and nighttime hallucinations, which is appropriate given that this movie often feels like it's sleepwalking through itself. But I can't think of a single other performance that really stood out to me. The dad of the family is just this fucking Sam's Club Christoph Waltz without any of the charisma. He seemed to me to be this useless tool. Some might call him a cuck. Then there's the dipshit son who looks like he's a totally different ethnicity from the rest of the family, but whatever, that's not too distracting. You gotta meet those quotas nowadays, I guess. His performance is terrible. And finally, the pièce de résistance, the one character that actually got people into this fucking movie, little Goblin girl, who does a fucking tongue click every 5 minutes to let you know that she's scary. I swear, like, every fucking other scene, there's one of these. Some people in the theater are gonna start doing the same thing because of how stupid it is. Seriously, I'm getting real fucking tired of this horror movie trope where there's a little demon child who is all the makings of the school shooter but instead chooses to terrorize a single household in her spare time. And I'll fully admit, I'm a tough scare. I don't get scared easily at movies. I didn't walk into this expecting a traditional horror movie because I was warned beforehand. I don't much care about the jump scares. I would have loved to see a quiet little simmering thriller or family drama. I was willing to forgive the massive hyperbole when this was hailed as the scariest movie of the century. Oh, you'll be puking in your seat. But there's nothing to this. Like, just nothing comes from this movie. It's all set up with no payoff. And the much talked about twist in the middle is so fucking stupid that I have to spoil it. So if you haven't seen this piece of shit and don't want it spoiled, skip to this part in the video. Just know that your fear of this movie being spoiled is scarier than a single frame of this piece of shit. So the teenage son douchebag named Peter decides he wants to go to a party, and asks his mom if he can borrow the car. So this crazy cunt's like, yeah, but only if you bring your goblin sister. Now in this scenario, I do what any rational person would do. Leave with Goblina and drop her off at the nearest church doorstep and pick her up after the party. Instead, this fucking putz actually brings her to the party and expects to get laid. I'm not shitting you. Then Goblin Girl accidentally eats a piece of cake with nuts in it, and she starts choking. So now Peter has to rush her to the hospital. But wait an ass-picking minute. In the first scene of this movie, Goblina won't eat a candy bar because it has nuts in it. So you're telling me that she didn't even think to ask about the fucking cake? Jesus Christ, my 5-year-old cousin has a nut allergy and he knows better than that. This deformed bitch has tits for fuck's sake. But you don't know you'll die from nuts? And as they're driving, I shit you not, Goblina sticks her head out the fucking window and gets decapitated by a light pole. I was laughing my ass off. You know, now that I think about it, I have to wonder if this movie was just one giant troll. Not only is the most interesting character killed off halfway in the most ridiculous way, the execution of it was so unintentionally comedic. She couldn't have been that stupid, right? Did she just think to herself, you know, Peter's really getting on my nerves lately. I think I'll just die now and make it look like his fault. That'll show him. Honestly, this movie would have been so much more credible if they kept her character alive, killed the pothead brother instead, maybe have Peter OD on heroin, and let Goblina try to drive. Not only would that make more sense, there'd be an added level of suspense in the third act that we didn't anticipate, knowing that this creepy little shit stain is still fucking around in the physical form. But nope, the movie just kind of leaves you hanging, begging for a payoff when there is none. You wasted your money, go home. So Psycho Mom soon runs into a woman who mysteriously knows the family and also happens to be a medium, which causes her to suddenly believe in the supernatural, yada yada yada, exact same bullshit as every haunted house movie ever made, minus the effort. And like I said, I'm not some fucking uncultured swine who wants to play peekaboo between my hands in anticipation of jump scares. You don't want to be that movie, that's perfectly fine with me. Just replace it with something we haven't seen a million fucking times. And the last third of this movie is so bad that if Nicolas Cage was in it, it would be the fucking Wicker Man. The moments of possession are laughable. Peter just goes like... bangs that on the fucking desk. I don't think that's demonic. I think that's some special needs shit. Then a dude bursts into flames for no reason. Okay, spontaneously combusts. This is the new Exorcist. Yeah, I don't fucking think so. Exorcist wasn't that scary, but it was way scarier than this. Demonic drawings. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Little demon girl likes to draw violent pictures. Oh, I'm so scared. But just admit you're a horror movie. Or don't be. This movie doesn't want to go one way or the other. It's almost like it refuses to be scary on any level. And it's not even scary in the way I thought it was going to be, which is not the jump scares, but perhaps we get a haunting illustration of mental illness. Or maybe we'd learn some terrifying family secret. Maybe we'd learn the origins of the grandmother. Nope, just empty, hollow fucking bullshit. And it expects you to be scared for no reason. I was begging this movie to give me a reason, give me one reason to even be made uncomfortable, but it does nothing. You know, Rosemary's Baby, perfect example of a movie that has no jump scares, no floating toaster, no demon child, no poltergeist, and it's still creepy, because there is conflict in the family. You know something is up with these people, and you are left to figure out what that is. There is none of that in Cluck the movie. What a disappointment. 3 out of 10 for Toni Collette. The rest can go eat a dick. This has been a Rage Review. Stay tuned for more.